Kevin Harvick comes to second. We said it. You never know. That's why you never give up in this sport.
I can't believe it. I've wanted this since I was a little kid, and just never give up, man. Never give up on your dreams, no matter what happens, what kind of crap you go through.
12 years in the Cup Series, and his roller coaster career is finally reaching the peak.
Despite being 37th with 7 laps down and no chance, he's only about 2/10 off the leader's lap times, and he's gained 10 positions.
Never
That's
give
a
up.
great explanation, Mike.
Never give up.
When Chris Buescher was on a slightly different pit cycle than the rest of the field at Kansas a few weeks back, he surrendered the lead to pit. He was trapped a lap down as a caution came out for a tire in the grass. With 20 laps to go, Buescher restarted 19th, but his never give up mentality helped him go through the field and secure an 8th place finish. Now strap in, because this is only one of the many incredible never give up moments in NASCAR. Buescher's Kansas moment really got me thinking. Sometimes there's that new NASCAR paint scheme and we have no idea what the sponsor on the hood even is. And I really like the paint scheme on that number 17, so I had to find out what this mysterious new NASCAR sponsor was. It turns out, Auto Tempest is a website that lets you search all the top used car listing sites in the US all in one place. And I'm always looking around for my next car, so this will save me the hassle of going to sites like Cars.com, TrueCar, and eBay Motors. Auto Tempest makes it so I don't have to go to all those sites separately. So give this new NASCAR sponsor a warm welcome, as they'll be on Chris Buescher's number 17 ride for 2 races in 2021. Make sure to give Auto Tempest a try too by clicking the top link of the description below. I'm sure that it'll save you a ton of time and money the next time you're shopping for a car. Big thanks to Auto Tempest for their involvement in NASCAR and being a sponsor of the channel. Carl Edwards was leading the 2009 Aaron's 499, but flipped into the catch fence just moments from finishing the race. The crash halted all of his momentum and prevented him from finishing the race inside of his car. If you guys were in NASCAR, would you think that running across the finish line on foot would count as you finishing the race? That's what they did in Talladega Nights. Carl Edwards might have taken some inspiration from this movie because he thought it might be worth it to try to finish the race on foot. According to Racing Reference, Carl Edwards was given a DNF for this race because technically he crashed out. It says he completed 187 out of the 188 laps, which means running across the line on foot didn't actually count. Honest opinion here, I think Carl Edwards needs a little more credit for his extra effort and not giving up. Honestly, I think he was getting 24th place no matter what, but let me know in the comments. Would you overturn NASCAR's decision to give Edwards a DNF for this race? I personally would, but leave your opinion down below.
Man, just glad I'm all right. And this is, I didn't know if it mattered if I went across the finish line, but I just wanted to finish the race.
This next one dates back a bit to 2007. Kyle Busch got caught up in a wreck with Dale Earnhardt Jr. at the Texas Spring Race. Kyle thought that the damage that was done to his car was enough to end his day, and he disappeared from the team entirely. His crew was working to get the car back on track to get any additional points that they could. Unfortunately for the team, there was no sign of Kyle Busch's availability. The 5 team needed a driver, and what makes this so ironic is that it was Dale Earnhardt Jr. finishing the race for them. He was finishing the race for the guy who slammed into the back of his own car earlier. Jr. did get some more points for the 5 team, but the 8 car he was driving earlier still finished 1 spot ahead. He didn't actually lose any points to himself. Kyle Busch had given up that day, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. sure didn't mind doing Hendrick Motorsports a favor. Perhaps it was because he'd be Kyle Busch's replacement on the team next season.
The 5 car is back on track. The driver is Dale Earnhardt Jr.
That's interesting.
Kyle apparently had left the racetrack thinking the car had been withdrawn. We're not sure of that. We're making that assumption.
Recently, Kyle Busch appeared in a YouTube video on the I Am Athlete channel where he gave a detailed explanation about what he was told and the way it went. In this video, Kyle said that with the amount of damage, one of his team members told him, "I don't think we're going to continue." The team got it fixed with 8 laps to go, but by this time, Kyle was already at the airport waiting to leave. That's why they got Dale Jr. to finish the race. Busch stated that he had hard feelings for his team because they called upon another driver to race his car when they told him they weren't gonna fix it. Erik Jones won the 2020 Busch Clash with one of the most damaged cars in recent NASCAR history. First, he overshot his pit stall in a green flag pit stop. This cost him enough time and eventually trapped him a lap down. The first actual crash in the race set Erik Jones up for the free pass, which allowed him to rejoin the race on the lead lap. In the process of the very next restart, the big one happened, and even though Jones was in last place, he didn't see it coming and got damaged by hitting Joey Logano.
A lot of rear tire spin on that restart. I think a lot of guys were struggling with grip, and they just started losing control.
Even more damage was added in the next wreck that Erik Jones also plowed into, and it seems like everything was cosmetic because he had no trouble staying within the pack. In this race, Erik Jones was always in the wrong place at the wrong time. He later got involved in a third crash and got more front end damage. In the final restart, or what I like to call the smallest NASCAR restart ever, Erik Jones never gave up, and he had the assistance of Denny Hamlin to push him to the lead. This is especially uncommon because Daytona is a very aero-sensitive track due to the high speeds. I could honestly see a car this damaged being able to win a race like Martinsville, but Daytona is a really hard race to win when your car looks like that. The situation of the final restart was set up pretty perfect for Erik Jones. There were only about 4 other cars in contention still, and all these cars were from different teams, which means no one really wanted to work together. Denny Hamlin in this final restart was a lap down, but was Erik Jones' teammate. Hamlin effectively pushed Jones around the field to win the race. Without Hamlin's help, I highly doubt Erik Jones would have won. On the last lap of the 2013 Auto Club 400, Logano and Hamlin were going head-to-head for a win, with Kyle Busch sitting quietly in third. Even though the win seemed out of reach, Busch stayed in it, and when the 2 drivers ahead of him wrecked, he took full advantage of their lost momentum. Long story short, just make sure you're aware because a win could literally fall into your lap if you never give up.
What was going through your mind? Hopefully I could get by before they wrecked. Lo and behold, I put my foot to it and drove around the outside of them before they started crashing, or maybe as they were crashing, I'm not sure.
Martin Truex Jr. began his full-time NASCAR Cup Series career in 2006 with DEI. In his first 7 seasons, he only collected 1 win in 250-plus races. Then, with Michael Waltrip Racing, he won at Sonoma in 2013. In 2014, he joined Furniture Row Racing, and aside from that being a bad season for him, he got 17 combined wins in the next 4 years. The 8 wins Truex had in his championship season was more than he had in the previous 11 seasons combined. Truex had to go through that many mediocre seasons all in a row, but all it took was 1 year where never giving up really paid off.
We just never gave up all day long. I don't know how we won that thing.
At one point you thought your career was over, Martin.
It's just overwhelming to think about all the rough days and the bad days, the days that we couldn't run 20th. To be here, I never thought this day would come, and to be here is just it's unbelievable.
Chase Elliott was down as much as 25 points from advancing to the Final Four in the NASCAR playoffs. With no exceptions, he had to win at Martinsville to have a chance at the title. The opportunity was nearly thrown away when Elliott's Jackman went over the wall too soon in one of the last pit stops of the race. However, the penalty was avoided altogether because the Jackman reset himself on pit wall before he serviced the car. If Chase Elliott's Jackman didn't do this, Elliott almost definitely would not have gone on to win Martinsville and have the opportunity to even race for a title at Phoenix. And we all know how the ending goes. Chase Elliott outperformed the other 3 contenders at Phoenix and successfully came back from a 25-point deficit with only 2 races left to win the NASCAR championship. Congratulations! You listened to me talk about NASCAR for 7 entire minutes. I don't know how you did it, but thank you. You're the exact reason that videos like this can get picked up by the YouTube algorithm. If you were waiting until the end of the video, don't forget to visit Auto Tempest with the link in the description. Also, there are more NASCAR Moments videos that you can check out if you like this one. There's plenty to pick from, and I'll make it easy on you by dropping them on the end screen.